All right, let's chat a little bit more about the Flipper Zero. I want to address this specifically, people using these Flipper Zeros to open cars. You'll see this stuff all over TikTok. Don't know what the Flipper Zero is? It's this all-in-one hacking device that's going super viral right now, and you'll see tons of videos like this, where people are using this little device to open their cars and supposedly strangers. Insane, right? Scary enough, the Flipper Zero does actually have the technology to unlock pretty much any car out there, but there is a huge asterisk on that. And pretty much every single video you're seeing is them setting it up and faking it. I'm gonna explain to you exactly how they're doing that, and we're gonna learn a little bit how car key fobs work along the way. So pretty much all car key fobs work using radio signals on a very specific frequency, 315 megahertz to be exact here in North America. Inside the Flipper Zero, there's an antenna that could read and send back out radio waves. This here is a software-defined radio. It's pretty much a high-end version of what's inside the Flipper. So what you're seeing here, I know it looks all crazy, but these are radio waves. Right now I have this set to around 315 megahertz. You can see when I push a button on the key, you could see the radio waves coming through that are being picked up by this antenna. Inside these little waves here, if I were to extract that, that's basically a code of a bunch of 0 and 1s. And inside that is the code for the unlock button that I'm pushing unlock here on the car. There's no security or no anything inside that code. If I were to extract that code and read it, I could then display it and send it over to my car. Easy money, right? Take that code you copied, put it on your Flipper Zero. Now, anytime you want, you can just click the button and unlock that car, right? Not really, wrong, false. That's actually how it worked in like the 60s and 70s when key fobs first came out. Every car in key fob had its own unique ID for each command, and that security was good enough at the time because everybody's was unique. However, radio waves have been around for a long time. People have known how to hack them. People started copying those waves and sending them to the car after they copied them from the key. And that simply wasn't working, so they had to come up with a new solution. That's using something called rolling codes. Let me explain how those work because it's super clever. So I made a beautiful illustration here to help explain this. So rolling codes are used on pretty much every radio device that requires security these days. Think, of course, car key fobs and like garage door openers. So the way that this works is both the car and the key fob both have a super long list of codes. Think of it like a spreadsheet stored within each of their chips, and both of those lists are identical. Now, they're not actually lists like huge spreadsheets. They're generated with algorithms, but for the sake of explaining this, think of them as just one big spreadsheet of codes. Now, the way these codes work on the key side of things is it's never going to send the same code twice. It's going to send it from the top to the bottom of the list. So the first time you ever press unlock, it's going to send 1111. For the second time, 2222, etc. Now here's the important part. Whenever the car receives a command from the key, it's going to execute that command and most importantly, cross it off its internal list so it can never be used or received again. So if we push the 111 button on our key, it will unlock the car and do the command that's assigned to, but it will cross it off its list so it can be never used again. This shouldn't cause any issues at all because that code can only be generated once from the key. When they push it again, they're going to generate 22222. That's going to be seen on the car. Okay, that code is available and it will get crossed off. What this prevents is exactly what we were trying to do there where we clone the code. Let's say somebody unlocks their car and we see, oh, hey, I'm going to scan that code, steal it, 11111. But when I go and try to replay it back, the car's going to say, hey, dude, I've seen this code already. I know that you've already used this before. I'm not going to unlock the car because there's no way this should be generated. No way, Jose. And rolling codes are that simple. It's a really great security measure to where you don't actually have to encrypt any data that's coming back and forth. All you have to do is keep a ledger on both sides of things of which codes have been sent and which codes have been used. And then you pretty much negate all sorts of copying that can be done. So how are people using the Flipper Zero to unlock their car? It's actually pretty simple. What they're doing is they're copying the code when they're outside of the range of their car. So they'll set up their antenna, they'll send the unlock code to the Flipper Zero. Because they're sending it to the Flipper Zero and out of range of the car isn't crossing off that code. So say we send 4444 to the Flipper Zero, but it doesn't reach the car's not going to cross off that code. So we've now reserved that 4444 code to use whenever we want to unlock the car. This is really, really easy to do when you're sitting at home and you could be outside of the range of your car, push the unlock button and save it to the Flipper Zero. But to do that to somebody else's car, you'd have to go physically get their key fob, copy the unlock signal, and then replay it later on. At that point, you might as well just steal the keys and open their car. So that's how people are faking it and actually unlocking their cars with Flipper Zero, but in the real world, it won't actually work or be effective at all. That being said, Rolling codes is not a perfect security measure, and there are quite a few different ways to bypass them and hack through them, if you will. There are ways to do that with Flipper Zero. I think I'm going on like 6 minutes in this video already, so I'm gonna skip over those for now. But if you do wanna learn how to bypass these rolling codes and learn how people can actually hack pretty much any car and get into it, let me know and I'll happily explain it. Really important caveat here though for all of this is you are so much better off just smashing the car window as far as consequences go. When you start messing around with radio waves, you're messing with the feds. They don't take this stuff lightly. Radio waves make up a huge part of our communication, government, and otherwise. And when you start messing around with that stuff and broadcasting in places you shouldn't be, you're gonna get in so much unsurmountable trouble. So be careful with these. Know that this is for educational purposes only. If you wanna do this, don't. It's stupid, but I'll show you how it works anyway. Thanks for watching. I appreciate every single one of you.